ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सूक्तम 4 मंडलम 7 ऋषि वसिष्ठ मैत्रावरुणि देवता अग्नि छंदस्तृष्टु प्रवा शुक्राय भानवे। O invokers, you offer well purified oblations of food materials and mind to spiritual Agni, who is pure and shining brightly. He moves about knowing the inside of all born beings, including human beings. Invokers are being urged to honor Agni, the soul of energy, by words and deeds. He is present in living beings, activating them all. 7.4.2 Sagritso Agnis Tarunas. May that very wise Agni take us across miseries. When he was born from the mother, he was very young, and bright tooth are flamed. He united rays of light within himself. He eats up much food immediately. As soon as the fire is born from Mother Nature, it exhibits its tooth-like flame and consumes whatever food or fuel supplied to it. 7.4.3 Asya devasya samsadyanige. Mortals get hold of that white one who is in the front, is in the abode of the resplendent Agni, and who reveals the spiritual dwelling place. That Agni shines with a flame that is unpleasantly hot for mankind. Among different forms of Agni, the white one represents the soul of energy, or spiritual Agni, whose abode is the self. The soul of energy Agni reveals the fact that his soul is none other than the self only. This Agni burns away the imagined I-ness, ahambhava, of all human mortals. I am Kavirag Kavishu Pracheta. This Atmiya Agni, who is wise, is deathless, and is clever or observant, is preserved in the bodies of ignorant mortals. O mighty Agni, may we be well pleased in you always. Please do not harm us here. Agni, personified energy, can neither be created nor destroyed. It is preserved in living bodies which are subjected to birth and death. 7.4.5 Ayo yonim devakritam sasada. Spiritual Agni, by his intelligence, takes the deathless souls across all difficulties. So he is established in the womb prepared by enlightened souls. All herbs, trees, and earth hold within themselves him who is upholder of all. The soul of Agni takes the Jivatmas who are really deathless across the miseries to the birthless state. This Agni sits in the hearts of enlightened souls along with the self. Agni activates all living creatures, real as well as imaginary. Agni is there within the earth also. Agni, heat energy, is stored in herbs and plants as chemical energy. Agni is a concept of the wise sages. 7.4.6 Ishe Hyagnat Amurdasya Bhure. Agni behaves like the master of givers of the great immortal one, Atma, and givers of wealth and of good valor. O mighty Agni, may we never live without heroes, without beautiful form, and without doing service to you. Agni is one who activates all kinds of living creatures. 7.4.7 Parishadam Hyaranasya Rekno. O Atmiya Agni, wealth of a non-fighter is to be avoided. May we become the masters of that permanent one. A child born of another family cannot be our offspring. May the path of an ignorant man be not committed to us or on us. Easily obtainable wealth is not worth acquiring. Worth acquiring wealth is self-knowledge. Birthless Brahman alone is permanent. May we be committed to follow the path of the wise sages. Nahi Gribhayarana Sushevo. A non-fighter or a man born of another family, though very kind and gracious, is not to be considered by the mind for holding, because he goes back to his own home or shell. May a new overpowering hero approach us. Let a new seeker or knower of the self approach the sacrificers. Other part of the Ruk is self-explanatory. 7.4.9 Svamagne Vanushyato Nipahi. O powerful Agni, please protect us from assailing enemies and also from disgraceful persons. May we attain your covered, obscure path fully. May we attain fully that wealth which is to be striven after. May we follow the righteous path to truth and attain self-knowledge. This is the implied meaning of the Ruk. Edano Agne Saubhaga Didi Yavi. 7.4.10. This is the same as 7.3.10. We go to the next Suktam, Suktam 5. Rishi is Vasishtha, Maitra Varuni, Devada, Vaishwanara, Agni, Chandastrushto. Ruks in this Suktam carry implied meaning. 7.5.1 Pragnaye Tavase Bharatvam. That Vaishwanara, who is sitting near the deathless souls of all human beings, is made to grow by watchful and active persons. O invokers, prepare auspicious speeches for that Agni, who is energetic and is moving quickly in the space and on the earth. Vaishwanara could be Agni, who is present in the heart space along with the self, and who makes the hearts of all living creatures beat during their lifetime. Intelligent men talk about him in these Vedic hymns. Invokers are being urged to honor him appropriately. Prishto Divi Dhayagni Pruthivyam. That desirable spiritual Agni, who is the leader of all flowing waters, is the showerer of stagnant waters, is held in the space and in the earth. That Vaishwanara growing with the most excellent radiance, shines for the sake of all human subjects. This Agni shines as the sun in the space, causing rain and making the rivers to flow to the ocean. On the earth and inside human bodies, Agni is present as fire or heat, which brings comfort and happiness to mankind. 7.5.3 Tvadhiya Visha Ayan. O leader of all men, Agni, shining very brightly for swelling the rivers, brightens up the sky by destroying the citadels of the cloud-like enemies. For the fear of you, your subjects who are dark or ignorant and unequal to you, run away, leaving behind their enjoyable possessions. First part refers to the sun as explained in the previous rec. Men who are ignorant of Vaishvanara are usually afraid of him. Who knows his identity knows him to be the leader of all men and of all living creatures. Ignorant men leave their cherished bodies at the time of their death for Agni. Tava tridhadu prithvi udadyav. 7.5.4 O leader of all men, Agni, your rules are based on triple world, which the space, atmosphere and earth honor. Then shining brightly with uninterrupted radiance, you spread out your brightness over the space and earth. Agni Vaishvanara supplies energy required for all activities in this universe. The space, atmosphere and earth. Bhu, Bhuva, Sva. Tvamagne Harito Vavashanagira. 7.5.5 O Vaishvanara Agni, your rays of light scream aloud, Vedic speeches flowing noisily, and the ladles smeared with ghee serve or honor you, who is the Lord of all human beings, who is the conveyor of all wealth. He is the banner of dawn and day, and he is the leader of all men. All pervasiveness of Agni is brought out here. The thundering lightning, Vedic speeches, oblations of food materials, etc., serve to enhance the glory of Agni, soul of Agni, in his different forms, electrical, sacrificial, Jataragni, etc. Tve Asuryam Avasavo Nyarnva Nyarnvan Kratum. 7.5.6 O glorious friend, Vaishvanara Agni, those who are dwelling in you and reaching the Supreme Spirit enjoy your intelligence, generating vast splendor for venerable men. You drive out the wicked from their houses. Intelligent men, meditating on soul of Agni, attain the self through the soul of Agni Vaishvanara. Here, wicked stands for ignorance and houses for the places of stay of ignorance, namely the minds. Seven 5.7 Sajayamana Parame Vyoman, that Vaishvanara, like Vayu manifesting in the Supreme Abode, protects the path of that Supreme Being. O knower of all born beings, after creating the worlds and giving them for your offsprings, you roar in the atmosphere. Vaishvanara resides with the self Atma in the heart space of every man as stated in this book. He supplies physical energy required to keep the heart beating so that the self may stay in its place. After the manifestation of the universe, Vaishwanara's subjects enjoy the material objects present in the universe. He enjoys the universe himself by appearing as the thundering lightning in the atmosphere. Samakne asme 7.5.8. O bestower of all treasures, knower of all born beings, leader of all men, Agni, please excite in us that most excellent enjoyment by which you cause the wealth to overflow, and also wide renown for an oblations offering mortal. Excellent enjoyment should definitely imply bliss of Brahman. Self-knowledge causes the overflow of all kinds of wealth and brings fame to a mortal man, as he becomes an enlightened, immortal soul. Zamno Agne Madhavadbhya, O Vaishwanaragni, for the rich sacrificers you please mix or arrange that wealth which is rich in food and in glorious knowledge. O leader of all men Agni, along with Rudras and Vasus, serving and loving each other equally, please bring us great prosperity. Rudras and Maruts, air or pranas, they are imaginary shining beings who are superimposed and they are supposed to be responsible for manifestation of certain aspects of nature. Vasus are guardians of the 8 directions, 4 cardinal and 4 diagonal. No further clarification may be necessary. We go to Suktam 6, the Rishi Vaisishtha Maitra Varuni Devata Vaishwanara Agni Chandastrushtum. Suktam 6. Prasamrajo Asurasya Prashastim 6.1. I salute him, Vaishwanara, who is frightful to the wicked. Admiring him, I shall declare in glowing terms the auspicious deeds of the Lord of all the worlds, who is extremely powerful, who is being praised successively by men, and is most courageous as Indra. The Rig brings out the fact that Vaishwanara is the subject matter of the Sutta. Kavin Ketum Dhasim 7.6.2. Men delight this Atmiyagni, who is wise, who is the flag of the self, is the upholder of the cloud, is bright, is prosperous, and is the master of the space and earth. I shall illuminate by auspicious speeches the laws of Agni, which are great and most ancient. He is the destroyer of enemy strongholds. Different attributes of Vaishwanara Agni are being talked about in this sutta. Nyakratun Grathino Mrutravaja 7.6.3. Agni blows away in every direction servile men who are not intelligent, who are false, who speak insulting words, who are miserly bargainers, who are non-believers and are non-sacrificers earlier, different, or makes them as sacrificers. Agni converts non-givers to givers of oblations, etc. Purifying quality of Agni, especially with respect to mind, is brought out here. Yo apachine tamasi madanti. Madanti 7.6.4. I glorify that Agni who is the best leader of man. He makes men who are enjoying in darkness, turning their backs from that knowledge, turn towards knowledge with his mighty help. He is the Lord of all riches. He is not humble and is the subduer of fight desiring force. Agni gives impetus to men to seek knowledge. He helps the knowledge seeker to acquire knowledge. Rest of the book is self-explanatory. Yo dehyo anamaya 7.6.5. The great Atmiya Agni with his weapons makes men bow down. He makes venerable mistresses Ushas to shine, restraining his subjects with his might. He makes men his tributaries. Agni makes men realize that the whole world is active on account of him only. Without energy, universe cannot exist, not even a second. All objects in the universe are vassals of Agni. Yasya Sharman Upavishve Janasa 7.6.6. All men, begging for his protection and good intellect, live bound by his laws. That Vaishwanara, leader of men, Agni, attains the most excellent sheltered place of the parents of the space and earth. Men live obeying the commands of Vaishwanara Agni, leader of all men. Parents of the space and earth can be Purusha and Prakriti. Birthless self is permanent. Ignorance is superimposed on the self by the minds of men. 7.6.7. Adevo Dadevudnya. At sunrise, resplendent Vaishwanara gives to himself things belonging to or coming from the depths, from the atmosphere and from earth below. Agni gives himself things from the space. Vaishwanara Agni present everywhere in all living creatures. He is present in the depths of the ocean, on the earth and in the atmosphere. Agni shines through all non-living luminous bodies in the space. This is the last ruk of Suktam 6. We go now to Suktam 7. Rishi, Vasishtha, Maitravaruni, Devada Agni, Chandastrushto. This Agni Suktam also contains ruks carrying implied meanings. Example 4, 5 and 6. Prabho Devam Chit Sahasanam. O soul of Agni, we turn our eyes towards you, who is bestower of energy, is resplendent and is speedy like a horse with reverence. O wise Agni, may you become messenger of this non-violent sacrifice. Among enlightened souls, you are known to be of moderate speed on your own. Most of the ruk is easy to comprehend. Fire spreads at moderate speed, like a horse, and not at high speed, like that of light or mind. Aya Hyagne Pathya Anu 7.2. O Atmiyagni, being pleased with the friendship of enlightened souls and delighting yourself, please come along to us by your own paths, roaring like a cloud on the summit of the earth with your might and burning intensely all the trees in the forest with teeth like flames. Soul of Agni is the friend of enlightened souls. Lightning among the clouds in the atmosphere is one gross form of energy. Forest fire is the third form of Agni. Each form of Agni moves along its own path. 7.7.3. Prachino Yajna Sudhitam Hibarhi. Ancient sacrifice is established on the sacrificial grass or the place of sacrifice. On being invoked, Agni is delighted like the acceptor of sacrifices. O youthful Agni, when your most cherished parents are glorified by all, you become much happy. Ancient sacrifice may imply the creation of the universe. In that context, place of sacrifice may mean the space or the abode of the self. Agni's father could be the self and mother Mahamaya, the great illusion or ignorance. In the gross sense, father and mother of Agni are taken to be the space and earth. Sadhyo adhare rathiram jananta. Highly intelligent men generate the speedy spiritual Agni in a non-violent sacrifice very easily. Agni of those persons is the protector of his subjects, is delightful, is speaker of sweet words, and is the guardian of Vrutta. He is upheld in the houses or bodies of his subjects. Intelligent men know that Agni, who moves quickly from one living form to another, protecting each one of them in turn, in which case the house could also mean bodies of living creatures. Asadi Vrato Vahni Raja 7.7.5. Atmiya Agni is hidden, is a conveyor and is supporter of the self. Manifesting himself, he is seated in the houses of human beings or their bodies. The space and earth causes him to thrive. Sacrificers glorify him who is cherished by all. This Agni could imply Vaishvanara Agni, seated within the heart space of human bodies, along with the self. The space and earth together support the gross Agni, fire, which is cherished by all sacrificers. Some of the sacrificers cherish the subtle and spiritual forms of Agni. Description of the threefold Agni follows. Ede Dyumne Bhyar. These subjects pervade the universe with his splendor. 7.7.6. These subjects pervade the universe with his splendor. Heroic men prepare Vedic hymns, mantras, suitably for him. Men belonging to me meditate on him who is guardian of Vrutta. The Ruk specifically talks about the subtle and spiritual forms of Agni. Most of the Ruk may not need any clarification. 7.7.7. Nutvamagna imahe vasishtha. O son of a mighty father, soul of Agni, the most excellent men, approach with prayers. You, who is the Lord of all wealth, please illumine strength for the rich praises. May you protect us always with prosperity. This book is self-explanatory. Suktam 8. This is an Agni Suktam similar to the previous one. Rishi Vasishtha Maitravarni Devada Agni Chandas Trishto Indhe Raja Samaryo Namobhi. Venerable Master Agni is being well kindled by food and praises. That Agni shines before Usha or dawning of spiritual knowledge, whose appearance is invoked with ghee, and whom afflicted leaders of men invoke with oblations. Agni, manifesting a sacrificial fire, is invoked with ghee. Men afflicted with ignorance only perform sacrifice to grass fire, which is lighted before dawn. Men free from ignorance meditate on Agni, the soul of energy, and realize self-knowledge. 7.8.2 Ayamu Shya Sumaha Avedi Hota. This Agni, who is pleasant, is a sacrificer and is active, is known to be really great among human beings. He spreads his luster in the sky and on the earth. He grows with plants and herbs, emitting dark smoke along his path. Agni in the fire grows, consuming fuel like plants and herbs. No further explanation may be necessary on this rook. Kayano Agni Vivasa Surikrim. 7.8.3 O liberal donor, Adhidevik Agni, by what will you cause our excellent praise shine? Invoked by us, what food will you be indebted to? When will we become acquirers and masters of the incomparable wealth of the sages? In what way Agni is to be invoked so that sacrificers can attain self-knowledge? Essentially, this is the gist of the book. 7.8.4 Prapraya Agnir Bharatasya Shrunave. The soul of Agni becomes well experienceable to me, who is the bearer of this praise, when he, like the sun, shines in all his excellent splendor. He is present within the people in battles. The bright Agni shines as the honored guest of the enlightened souls. When Agni, the soul of energy, reveals self-knowledge, a sacrificer becomes able to discriminate between truth and unreality. He is present in a human being in all his battles of acquiring self-knowledge. The rest of the book is self-explanatory. 7.8.5 Asannitve ahavanani bhuri bhuvo. O well-born Agni, oblations offered in you is indeed innumerable. Please be benevolent with all your splendor. Being praised, please hear our hymns. Being invoked, may you make your body grow yourself overall meaning should be clear enough. Idam vacha shatasa samsahasram. 7.8.6. This hymn, containing hundreds of speeches accompanied by 1,002 speeches, is prepared by me for Agni. This hymn is illuminating, drives away pains and diseases, destroys the wicked thoughts, and brings prosperity for the invokers and their associates. Vedic hymns presented here contain many syllables, words, etc., expressing both physical and spiritual knowledge. Information contained in them will be useful for all men for overcoming difficulties that they face in their day-to-day life. 7.8.7. Nu Vamakna imahe vasishtha. This is the same as 7.7.7. With this, we finish this day's session. Viramastavat.